Welcome back. Now to discuss the situation in Rivers State, I am now joined by a legal practitioner, Tamuno Williams. Mr. Tamuno, good afternoon. Welcome here on News Central.
Good
Mr.
afternoon, my
Tamuno, can we
pleasure.
have you? Good. Now, Mr. Tamuno, let me start by asking, what legal grounds do the police have for sealing of the council offices and barring the caretaker chairman, newly inaugurated, of course, from accessing their official offices?
Well, currently the way things are in our country, and then the way the police force is deployed, you hardly can posit exactly which is the basis. But generally, the police, by the Police Act, have a duty to maintain law and order. But the Constitution provides that the chief executive of a state is the governor of that state. So whether the Police Act empowers the police to seal, to protect lives and property, it must be done should I say, it must be done at the direction of the chief executive of the state, which is the governor of the state. And when the police takes an action without coordinating with the governor of the state, it tells a lot of unsavory stories. But unfortunately, that's what we have in Rivers State. It's not the first time it is happening in Rivers State. You recall that when Police Commissioner Joseph Mbo was CP of Rivers State, CP Mbo was used to defy the then governor of Rivers State. He closed roads, he harassed the governor, and not too long ago, the current governor, Governor Fubara, was also at a point harassed by the police. The point simply is that the police in a federal system of government ought not act without taking instruction or deferring to the chief executive of that state.
So, Tamuno, are you inferring that with what's going on, there might be another authority above the governor that's actually making these actions happen, seeing as the police are not at these local secretariats on the instruction of the governor? Is there another authority you might be saying is responsible for this?
Yeah, it is not far-fetched, and you must go historical. The governor of Rivers State did a state broadcast, and he said, by the powers conferred on him by Section 176 of the 1999 Constitution, subsection 2, we provide that the governor of a state is the chief executive. And if I recall correctly, he had a Security Council meeting with all the security chiefs in Rivers State.
Okay.
So if he has not directed that the council should be sealed, mark you, by the extant constitution, local government councils are still under the Rivers State government until that law is amended. So it is clear that this is something extraordinary happening, without the consent, without the direction of the chief executive of Rivers State.
Okay then, Tamuno. So in response, Governor Fubara has equally threatened that he's going to establish parallel secretariats for the local government councils and that they can operate anywhere, not based on location. Are there any precedents? Has this ever happened before anywhere in Nigeria?
What is happening in Rivers State has not happened anywhere in Nigeria either. In all the 36 states of Rivers of Nigeria, when the tenures of local government chairmen ended, I was a council chairman myself. My tenure ended and I handed over. At the end of my tenure, there were caretakers. So if today the right of the governor to rule is impinged upon, the governor must take extraordinary measures to ensure that his authority is not flouted. What is happening here is tantamount to a coup. It's a coup because the sovereign power of the governor of Rivers State is circumscribed. And that is what the fear had been of all right-thinking people. Put simply, he must take steps to ensure that the order and directive that is given pursuant to the powers vested in him are not compromised or are not shortened.
So the instance we're taking a look at now started from a case of tenure elongation. So could I ask, what legal mechanisms are in place to prevent any such thing as tenure elongation? And how might the situation in Rivers State also test those mechanisms, if there are any?
Well, luckily for us, when there is dispute between citizens among the arms of government or those in government, judiciary is the adjudicator. So whatever happens, ultimately, the courts will make a pronouncement one way or the other. But I want you to recall that Rivers State have been so unfortunate when it comes to following the legal process. I know you recall that in 2015, in the build-up to the election of Governor Wike, in Okrika particularly, there was a rally by APC. In that rally was stopped by some persons who shot at the gubernatorial candidate of APC in Okrika. A policeman died. I'm giving an example of how this thing started. And that momentum has been kept. During the elections, some persons were arrested, police stations were closed down, hotels were closed down, pursuant to a law. Now, what I'm laying background for is that the law has not been very fast or fair in Rivers State. Don't forget again that during the elections in 2019, some parties didn't have candidates. Some persons claim that they have power over the judiciary in Rivers State.
So, oh dear, I think we might have lost him, but hopefully...
Take what the court will do. Then we have a serious problem. But ultimately, the arbiter in such dispute is the judiciary.
Okay then, Tamina, if you're still there, opposition parties in the state have also urged the federal government to declare a state of emergency. So real quick, my question is, does Rivers State at the moment, with what you're seeing, warrant an invocation of any state of emergency being called?
No, this is laughable. This is laughable. If the point is that a lot of us forget that the law must be founded on the custom, the conventions, and for the interest of the masses. Rivers, what has happened has not gotten to near the least threshold for calling for invocation of state of emergency. Those who are calling for that are the ones who orchestrated this plan. And they are shocked that what they planned has not happened to its highest level. They wanted to cause this chaos and use that as a basis to invite the federal government to declare a state of emergency. Now, let me ask you, which true Rivers man, which Rivers citizen will want at this point that the governor be removed through state of emergency? Are those who orchestrated this plan? Remember, they had to amend laws. The laws that were used were amended illegally and unlawfully. So there is nowhere in this state right now, from where I'm speaking from.
Breaking communication there, but thank you very much, Tamina, if you're still listening, for joining us this afternoon.